All right, this first question is titled, Help, my new hubby's best friend is a grade A creepazoid. The letter says, I am in my late teens and just recently married the perfect man. He's kind, funny, and caring, and his career prospects are sky high. We have an exceptional relationship. We like the same kinds of ice cream and stores. Ooh. And what can I say? We have a lot of fun together. My otherwise exceptional life has just one problem. My new husband's best friend, his best man at our wedding, has a bit of an issue with me. My husband denies it, but this friend, let's call him Jeff, has always been rude to me. I've made many efforts to get to know him better, but he has repeatedly rebuffed my overtures. I assumed it was because he didn't like me, and I endeavored to win him over with my many charms. But the story took an unexpected turn when I saw a video he edited together of footage from our wedding. The footage is almost exclusively of me, in intense close-up. To make a long story short, he films me like Quentin Tarantino films feet.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
When I confronted Jeff about his unhealthy sexual preoccupation with me, he demurred. I'm afraid to tell my husband because I don't want to affect an old and dear friendship. Should I tell my husband about Jeff's video? Should I confront Jeff? Or should I just keep my mouth shut and try to move forward? Signed, Worried in Westminster. Sorry. Signed, Worried in Westminster.
What a funny little mix-up you had there over there, knowing things about England, Matt. I don't know anything about this woman, but I can tell she's got a teethy grin just by the way she writes. Just a lot of tears. So happy you came to our wedding.
I don't know what it is about the letter, but I was picking up on that as well.
Just a lot of teeth and chin. What do you think, Coconut? Do you have?
Ooh,
is this your area? Well, I mean, this is a sticky one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say putting myself in her hubby's shoes.
Okay.
I have a wife. I can't say that I have any creepy friends per se
that you know of.
Don't tend to that I know of. Right. I would hope that my wife would talk to me about it instead of trying to go around me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that took a bit of a turn. So he was rude,
right, for
quite a while since she first met him, and then this bomb dropped that he was just intimately recording her, and close up on her wedding day.
And she's taking it as sexual too. So deciding intense close up of her in a wedding dress, sexual, and that's an interesting jump.
I'd have to see the footage. I mean, they're very sensual filmmakers out there. I mean, is he like an Anthony Lynn type? Can you just is the camera just oozing sexuality? I wish they had enclosed the footage, but
the footage. Is that a Quentin Tarantino joke?
I was going to say that. I mean, she did pull that reference.
She did. So
we know how Quentin Tarantino films feet.
Lovingly and for awkwardly long.
And healthily.
I think what matters is that she feels it is sexual. So I guess it doesn't really matter. We don't really need to guess. What matters is that she thinks it's that. And she's deciding whether to tell her brand new husband or just don't. I mean, does anyone have any strong feelings?
I mean, my initial strong feeling is like, yeah, you should absolutely tell your husband. That's the point of being married, having a close romantic partnership. It is, and it is a partnership, isn't it, folks? But yeah, this seems like a perfect example of something you're going to have to. Things like this will come up over and over and over again throughout the time you know each other. And well, having to present uncomfortable information to your partner.
I mean, your best man, though, someone that you think you know.
Okay, but presumably you're going to continue interacting with him. If they're best friends, you know, there will be get-togethers, dinners.
Well, and I would think that your husband who you love deserves to have a best friend that has his best interest at heart. And this man clearly does not. I mean, can you help it if you fall this infatuated with the person your best friend married? I don't know. Ethically, what does the best friend owe his best friend?
I think what's really a big red flag was the fact that these signs of Jeff, like having this feeling towards her, weren't present until after they got married. You know, I'm sure there's a conversation that could have been brought up prior to, but I mean, now that they're together, this is released. And like Matt said, throughout a marriage, a lot of things will come to the surface, a lot of issues, whether they be at the husband and wife's fault or not. But I mean, this is a good first one to kind of tackle, I think, because again, like you guys said, he will be a part of more celebrations, I'm sure, as time goes on. And I feel like it may get worse if it's not addressed.
Right. And the bottom line is, do you want to be a wife that gets ahead of this, or that's playing catch up when this inevitably gets out? And
yeah,
or just one more drunken bachelor party with male strippers or whatever that joke was, away from him saying it.
If we had to speak to Jeff, what would we say to him? What's your route forward?
Well, Jeff, if you had no real relationship with her because out of self-preservation, let's say you were keeping your distance because she's so smoking hot that you knew you would fall deeper in love with her. What are you in love with? Please tell me. You don't know her at all. So what is it about this situation that has clicked for you that this is the one for you, even though you know nothing about this person? He needs therapy.
Yeah.
I think therapy.
That'd be a good start.
It's a boring answer, but yes, therapy. Hey, buddy, you're going to have to learn to work on this, process it, and then move on with your life.
And if she all of a sudden became available, would you still be interested? I think he needs to explore, is the attraction that he cannot ever have her? Because there's gangly, hot, teethy angels in England everywhere, I would assume. I mean, I'll bet he's got poster boards full of them, honestly. That he shows her later in the snow.
It could be a matter of like jealousy. I know it sounds very like high school and like elementary, but like, when your best friend gets a chick and you don't, you're like, oh, nuts. Well, I mean, she's already kind of like into him, so maybe she'd be into me. Maybe I should try to pursue this. That's not normal. Not addressing Jeff personally, I would address her. So recently I have been getting into some true crime and hear me out.
Oh my.
So,
wait, are we going baby reindeer with this? What are we doing?
Hear me out.
Okay.
So one thing that these true crime docs and, podcasts will talk about are what were the signs? Like, how could we have seen this coming? How could he have taken this turn? Sweetheart, I think this may be one of those signs. The fact that he did it secretively, and what was he going to do when his best friend asked him for the video?
You had your camera out clearly the whole time.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of thought process in here. Him being
Compulsive.
rude 1 minute and then just infatuated by her. Maybe there's some compartmentalization going on. I don't know. These are just terms I heard on a documentary.
Those are good.
No expert.
But whatever it is, though, he's doing them out in the open. I mean, Linney, I assume, noticed at the wedding. Sorry, I'm breaking the fourth wall. What? I'm saying that it sounds like both him and her have noticed that there's a weird thing between the two of them. Once he realizes it was like just hardcore, I need to fuck her so bad. I don't know. I'm just saying I guess what I'm saying is he's not being very like subtle.
Well, I think that
he's being dangerous.
That makes it all the more imperative that worried in Westminster tell her husband, because
time
there's
bomb.
probably a good chance it's not going to be a surprise to him. He knew it was there all along, even if he was in denial about it.
And he's playing with fire. I would guess that this is going to increase. I mean, he had the brassness to be so obvious behind a camera on his wedding day. And I could see this escalating to, I don't know, showing up at their door one day, maybe with a lot of cardboard signs. I'm just saying he's going to keep putting her in situations.
He doesn't sound like an absolute psychopath, Lacey.
Oh, you're right. And that wouldn't deserve a kiss. So
no, the last thing she would want to do is give him any sort of sign that play into it.
Reward.
Any sort of affection, touch, hug, nothing more.
Yeah, because
especially not a kiss.
Don't in the snow near Christmas. No, ma'am.
Well, because you're probably thinking like, no, he just needs to know. He needs to get the kiss, and that will be a fond farewell, and then he can move on with his life. That's what you think, but no, he's actually going to be like, ooh, okay, there's a chance.
There's a wait and see.
Yes,
let's give him heart attack
false
pills.
hope.
All right, I think we've really nailed this one, and now we're ready to move on to our next letter.